Hi, this is a Jez and Friends podcast sponsored by at WBYR Mentalking on Instagram. So go check them out. Doing wonderful things for mental health, which I'm also a part of. And also don't forget to like and follow at Jez and Friends on Instagram. Welcome to episode 7 of a Jez and Friends podcast. Today's special guest of a podcast is Mazz Martin. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, good.
Glad to be
I'm going to be covering many topics, including footy. Mazz and I, we both won a Premiership, obviously. Nurragi Gunditj and funny stories. And let's get started. So I spoke to you earlier, but let's talk about subject selections here. It's August right now, and we've been picking our subjects, which is some people say good and bad. So what's your opinion on that, Mazz?
I mean, it's interesting because you have to, like, you're kind of funneling your way into uni and then into careers that you want to do. So I know personally, I have no idea what I want to do, what I'll be doing or what I want to do in the next like 10 years or so. So it's kind of stressful because it feels like everything's coming to an end and you have less chance to change your mind or do different things if you suddenly want to do something different. So I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, I would say you have to do a lot of thinking about your academic future, which is interesting.
Yeah, 100%. Could you tell us what you're doing next year?
Oh yeah. Next year I'll be doing 1-2 English, obviously, 1-2 math methods, 3-4 biology, 1-2 chemistry, 1-2 global empires, and 1-2 philosophy. So mainly science and humanities, pretty much.
And I spoke to a few people in year 10, and I reckon what I say is quite true. Do you reckon you should pick the subjects that you love doing instead of like just doing it for like scores or because your friends are doing it, if that makes sense?
Oh, definitely. I think that I find that friends are quite important in lots of my decisions because I always find that I have way more fun in a class if like even one friend is in it.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
obviously there's a chance to make friends. I mean, it's always more fun when you have a friend, but yeah, definitely you have to do what you're interested in because if you get stuck in a class that you're going to hate, then you're not going to do well in it and then you're going to get bored and you're just not going to get a good result or like achieve much in that class. And so yeah, you definitely have to choose something that you enjoy. And yeah, so yes, I would agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll move on, Maz. So what is it like a useful tool, like some advice that could benefit the listeners?
Okay. I would say an important thing that you should always make sure that you have in your life is you have to make sure that you smell nice. Like you want to have good breath. You don't want to have stinky breath. You want to put on deodorant. Embarrassing. Like that's something I live by. I need to smell nice every day because otherwise it's just I don't like when you're in the presence of people and you know you have bad breath. It's just like not fun because you know you can't speak, you can't breathe, nothing can happen. It's just not good. So that's always smell nice. That's my word of advice for everyone listening.
So Maz, you've lived with me for like 2 months. Would you say I have good hygiene?
Good hygiene.
Yeah.
You know, Jerry, you never smelt bad when that, like you living with you for 2 months. I can never remember a time when you smelt bad. So that's props to you. Good work because not everyone was up with their hygiene like you were. So.
Oh, cheers, Maz.
Yeah, very welcome.
So we'll move on. We're going to talk about obviously Maz, we've both won premierships, which is good. A few people on the podcast have won premierships and some haven't, so it's good to flex about. So talk us through that, Maz, last year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I played under 15 girls for Flemington Junior Football Club last year, and we did win the grand final after a strong season, I would say. We didn't win every game, but we didn't lose every game. It was pretty even. And so we lost the first final, which was to get into the grand final. And then we won the second final, obviously. And then in the grand final, it was a very, very intense game. I can't really remember the scores, but with 1 quarter to go, we were like 2 goals down in like the last 5 or 7 minutes, and luckily we got those goals, and then we just kept them out of the defense. And like in the last minute, it was in our defensive 50, and so everyone was just down there just scrambling to get it out of there, and it was very intense. And when the siren went, it was like the most elation I've ever felt. It's such a good feeling when you go final. Like, it was just so happy and so excited, and everyone was just running around and hugging each other, and parents were just like jumping fences to get on the oval. And yeah, it was so fun. It was so good.
Yeah, I can relate, Maz, because I've won a premiership as well.
Yeah.
So before the match, were you like so nervous and all that, and like butterflies, etc.? Yeah. Far out.
Yeah, definitely. And you're like trying to be chill. You're like, don't worry, it's just a game. It's just a game. Nothing to worry about. You really want to win the grand final. Like, you really want to win. And so it's like, and it was just so exciting. And because we thought that was the last game we were going to play with like that team as well, it was also really exciting because that was like a really, really fun team, and we had a lot of fun together. So it was also sad because we were all gonna, like, that was our final game. But no, it was so fun. But then it was pretty sad because the other team from the club that was playing in the grand final lost, which was really sad. And I think they were before us or after us, I can't remember. And we had this, like, we went down to Holland Park after, like, in the afternoon, and we were having a barbecue to celebrate the win. And both of our teams were down there, and so the girls were just like really excited and happy, and the guys that lost their grand final were just so upset. And it was just really, really sad to watch because, you know, you try so hard and then to lose is just so sad.
Yeah, that's a sad story. Yeah, obviously Emma Carney was the coach, Maz. AFLW captain of North Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Talk about her.
How cool is that? She is amazing. Not just as a footy player, but I had her as a teacher too when I was at Mac in year 7.
So
she
did
was
I.
my PE teacher. Yeah. Which is just, I think back in that and I'm like, like, she is such an elite football player and used to be a cricket player as well. And she was just our primary school, like our high school PE teacher, and it just seems so crazy. But no, it was really cool. Like, just to know that if we wanted to, we could do what she's doing right now. Like, that's, if we want to become elite football players, then that's who we look up to. And and I mean, it was a bit difficult for her to come to like all the training sessions, and she had to miss out on some games because she's very busy, obviously, as an AFLW player. But it was awesome, and she's always like so positive and just like, she's good at pep talks. She's very calm as well, so she doesn't get like overly stressed out about a game. So she kind of calms everyone down, which was great. It was just really awesome. And also we had 2 great coaches in Drew and John, who were some dads from the team, and they were both awesome as well and just really nice. So we had a great coaching team. It was really good.
Yeah, and just quickly, Maz, do you have your Premiership medal with you?
Ooh, maybe I'll go try and find it.
All
I'll
right,
be right
cool.
back. Sorry, it took a while. It gets
All
like
good, all
we have
good.
this like wall of all the medals that we've won as like 4 kids. Here it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, that's
Pretty
beautiful.
shiny.
Where's
Feels
mine?
good. Have you got yours?
Yeah, I think so. She's here. Is it the same kind of texture? I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then like that. That's what yours looks like.
Yeah. Maz, you said that you don't know what you want to do after school, but surely you have like some sort of idea like on what you want to do.
I mean, at the moment, the big idea is maybe something to do with education or teaching, especially like in primary school or in kinder or something with young kids, because I don't know, I just really like working with kids in the least weird way possible.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just get told by a lot of people that I have a good teacher voice. So
Yeah, you do, Maz. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, I enjoy it. So I guess that's what you want to do when you're working. You want to enjoy what you do. So yeah, but I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I feel like anything is possible, and also there's so many jobs that I don't even know exist. So like,
Yeah, 100% true.
yeah. What about you? What are you going to be?
Hey, I'm obviously doing a podcast right now, so I'm interested in like sports media and like that sort of like stuff. So we'll see how or where that takes me in the future.
Oh, I can definitely see you on like it's like a sports news anchor person, like talking
Yeah,
about after and the players and the drama that happened that week. I reckon you'd be good at that.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we're at in like, I don't know, 5, 10 years or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll do the podcast again in 5, 10 years.
Yeah, possibly, or maybe like, I don't know, yeah, just to reflect on how like high school went.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be.
So we've had leadership roles, Maz. So talk me through what it's like being a leader.
Um, I mean, being a leader is sort of, I always see it as a job where you have to do the least amount of work, because the most important thing for a leader to do is to like get other people's ideas and to delegate work to other people. So you end up like how do I explain this? Sort of like if you are, say you're ordering a pizza, and then everyone's ideas go into what pizza you're going to get, and the leader has to maybe call the pizza shop and get
Yeah,
it delivered. And then when the pizza comes, the leader has to divvy up the pizza and give it to different people, and that's the delegating of the tasks. And so really, I think leadership is more just about involving others and making sure that no one's excluded and everyone's getting a job to do and stuff, and not so much about having to do all the work for everyone else, which I think is a common misconception.
yeah, leadership is just amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really fun when you get it right. It makes teamwork so easy and so fun. It's great. Yeah.
yeah. For those who haven't tried a leadership role, we both highly recommend it. I reckon. So we'll move
Mm.
on. So
You got to give it a go. Everyone's got.
yeah, you have to give it a go. Yeah. So this is social media minute, Maz. So everyone's created a hashtag for the post. So just give us a hashtag, Maz.
Is there any sort of theme or something to give me an idea? Can you give me an example of a hashtag previous?
Um, Tom did hashtag Jerry's podcast. I think Yusuf said hashtag strive for greatness or something. So it just depends
Ooh,
really.
uh, um, what about hashtag Jez and Maz?
All right.
Maz and Jez. Jez and Maz, Maz and Jez. Which one do you like more?
Uh, your call.
Oh, um, I reckon go Jez and Maz. It is your podcast. I'm just a
Cheers,
guest.
Maz. Jez and Maz, it is.
Hashtag Jez and Maz.
Cool.
Very bad. Anyway,
It's not too bad,
it's
Maz.
fine.
So the quote of a podcast is push yourself because no one is going to do it for you. So what are your thoughts on that quote?
Push yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. Well, yeah, I think that's spot on. I mean, lots of the time you have to learn how to be independent and learn things and do things and push yourself without anyone telling you you have to. And that's a part of growing up, being able to do more things by yourself, I think. So that's a really good quote. I mean, obviously, at times it's important for others to help you and to ask for help and stuff. But no, that's good. I like that one. Good choice.
So we'll talk about Nurragi Gunditj here because we got into some pretty cool stuff there. So just talk us through Nurragi Gunditj a little bit, Maz.
Okay, Nurragi Gunditj is a 10-week program where Year 9 students from across Victoria, city and rural, come to a camp called Nurragi Gunditj, believe it or not, the School for Student Leadership camp, which is near Warrnambool, this campus at least, and you live there and eat there and work there and sleep there, and you do and you learn how to be a good leader, and you do that through outdoor ed, like hiking and learning how to cook food on a trangia or setting up a tent or walking around aimlessly for hours, or you also you do a lot of oh man, there's so many things. You have a roommate that you have to share a room with, which can be interesting depending on the roommate. Yeah. You have an expo group, which you do all of your classes and stuff in, and it's paired with one city school and one rural school, so you like get to learn about the difference between the city and the country, which is cool. And yeah, I guess just 10 weeks away from your family with 40 other year 9s, and you're just hanging out for 10 weeks. Pretty fun. I recommend.
Yeah. Oh mate, yeah, 100%. People should do this camp. Like it changed my life, Maz, as you know. Yeah.
So good to know.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be open to more than 6 people from each school. It should be bigger.
Yeah, it should be, let's say, double that maybe. Yeah.
Because more people should be able to do it.
I wanted to show you something. I still have this I don't know what it's called, but it's like it was on our like final week or something, or final few days of camp, and we got into our expo group with 1A obviously, and I think you have to like write like good stuff about people, and it's like the
Yeah.
hidden self thing where like yeah
I do remember.
yeah
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah, I
So
remember
I still
that.
have it, and like, I'm on
You
like a
do?
desk right now. It's like stuck like directly in front of my desk. So every time I study,
Oh,
just look at it. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
it's,
have to find mine. Thanks for reminding me. That was fun, that thing. Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty useful.
Yeah. It was very
Oh,
cool.
and I got a souvenir, but like it's obviously different. But do you remember this? It's like the first.
A photo frog.
Yeah, so
The
I remember getting that from
yeah,
the final.
LP gave us on the last day of the hike
Yeah,
or the last day. I can't remember. Remember when Mr. Vanovich showed up with those blocks of chocolate?
yeah. Talk us through that, Maz.
This chocolate that was so good. She was the best.
Yeah,
That
shout out
was
to
awesome.
Maz.
Snuck him in for us. Amazing work.
And we had to eat
Amazing.
it behind those sheds so no one could
Because
find
no
out.
one could find us. Very clever.
Yeah,
It was very
I didn't even
fun.
know that like the back of that shed existed till we found it and like ate the chocolates. To be honest,
Bonding for all of us, I reckon.
yeah,
Eating chocolates.
it was probably a 1 minute bonding session, Maz. Just
We
not,
ate. We ate it.
yeah, not much talking, more eating, Maz.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
We'll move on from Nurragi Gunditj. You've talked about it a fair bit. What's the last
Okay.
movie you've watched?
Oh, I feel like I literally just watched one like the other day. Um, well, I watched Hamilton recently, but that was like a musical that then was filmed and put on Disney Plus. But that is amazing. Have you seen Hamilton, Jerry?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta see it at some point in your life. I
Yeah.
love it. It's so good. Anyway, what's the latest movie I've watched? I watched this really sad one called The Resistance or Resistance, and it was set in Germany about a bunch of Jews trying to flee, and it was really sad.
Yeah, damn.
But I think that's the latest one I've watched. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about you? Have you watched any recently?
I think about a week ago, I just hopped on Netflix, had a look at a few movies, and
Yeah.
just clicked on Forrest Gump. You know that movie?
Oh yeah. Forrest Gump. That's
Yes.
good.
So I watched like half of it. Haven't finished it, but so far so good. Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty crazy story. He just keeps on like doing stuff. Like he doesn't stop. He just like
Run,
continuously
Forrest,
just does
run.
that. Exactly. Pretty famous.
Yeah, it's
Good to
pretty good movie.
yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
We might go back to Nurragi Gunditj, but like we'll talk about camp stories here, Maz. We've been on a fair few camps. Do you have any that like stick in your mind that are like really funny or like I don't know, just anything that comes to mind here?
Um, I remember on our first expo, our first hike, expo one, we after like dinner and stuff, we sat around in a circle and we played truth or dare as year nines do, and we dared this guy called Brody to snort mixed herbs, and then he did it like a lunatic, and like I don't know what was happening, but he was a bit of a mess. Like it was pretty intense. Um, I remember Expo 2 when we all slept outside. That was really fun. And we saw shooting stars. That
So
was good.
Maz,
And then
were
we
you up that night? Like there was a group of
I was
5 people.
Oh no, not in Expo 1, on
Okay.
Expo 2.
Oh yeah, true.
On Expo 1 I wasn't up. Me and Ruby went to sleep. But we had quite an eventful night still, but we did go to sleep. And but at Expo 2 when we all slept outside on the second night, that was fun.
Yep. For days, I've got a few stories I remember. So
Yeah.
I remember being dared by someone to eat grass, and I tried eating grass,
Yeah.
and I like choked on it like the first bite or something. That was the best experience.
Oh no. I'm sure it didn't taste very good.
It just
What did
tasted
it taste like?
bland.
Did it just
Yeah,
taste
like
like lettuce?
kind of, but bit like
Just bland.
yeah, a bit bland. Yeah. And there's
Quite a.
yeah. What are you saying?
We did do a lot of singing, lots of
Yeah.
music.
Teenage Dirtbag. What a song. What a song.
What a song!
Yeah.
Such a good song. Whenever I hear it, I'm just right back in the Ranger bus.
Yeah. The Ranger bus. Just got to tell if it was the Ranger bus was the bus that took us outside of campus, and it could fit like 11 people. Loud as speaker where we could just boom whatever music we wanted, and yeah, it was just made for good bonding sessions, really.
Definitely, especially when the road trip was like 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah. But my favorite day though at Nurrag was probably the day before visiting weekend. Do you remember it? We
Talk
went
us through
to
it.
Tower Hill. Well,
yes, Tower Hill. Yeah,
we
gotta
were,
remember that.
yeah. It happened to be my birthday, which was an added bonus. But we went to this place called
Oh yeah,
Tower
true.
Hill, where there's it's like a volcano or something. It used to be a volcano, and then it's
Oh
like
yeah.
now water. Like I forget the story of it, but it's cool. And we learned how to throw boomerangs with this guy.
Yeah, that was
I
amazing.
forget his, but that was fun. And then we did what was it called? Was it line dancing?
Line dancing. Oh
What
yeah,
was it
yeah,
when
yeah. Was it the evening
dancing?
activity?
Yeah, the evening activity.
Yeah, it was like
Well,
some
country.
dancing competition or something.
Yeah, we all learned these dances and then we did them with each other, and it was so much fun.
Yeah,
And
that was pretty fun.
it was intense, but it was so fun. And then we did Just Dance. We did a lot of Just Dance.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, so much. It's
so
pretty
much.
fun
It
though.
was just good. And what it is, that is true. And I feel like I still remember probably some of the dances. If you put them on.
Yeah, the boot. What was it called again? I'll
Boots,
tell you later. But
you're driving me.
what's the one where I taught this dance to some little primary school kids, but I can't seem to remember the thing. It's like the. How do I not know this?
Come on, Jerry.
I'll name a few, but I remember. I think
Yeah.
the first time we learned how to tandem bike, like we each took turns with different partners. I think I went with you, Maz. I'm not sure
Yeah, you did.
if I remember this correctly, but so was it the person at the front had to like do most of the work or something, or the back?
Well, yeah, that's steering and
Yeah,
the
like the
person.
steering and all that. I think I was at the front, and we were just going around the campus and all that.
Yeah.
And there was like a ditch or something, and I think
Yeah.
I nearly drove into it because I'm really shit with tandem bikes. So I remember going straight for it, and you're like, no, Jerry, you're gonna hit the thing, and I like turned last second, and luckily nothing happened because like I was shitting myself, Maz. I still remember this, and luckily the bloody tandem bike just stopped moving, and we just stopped. So I think, do you remember this?
No, I do. I have a memory of that.
Yeah, we just stopped and
yeah, were so uncomfortable. Like when we rid them for our expo, they were like on that gravel. It was so uncomfortable. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, I'm never going at the front because I could kill people. Yeah, nearly killed you that day, Mazz.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so.
And I've got one more story I remember fondly because this guy, what a legend, Benny Walter, shout out to him. But I remember this because Mazz, it was my dare, so I think it was Expo
Mhm.
1 or 2, one of them, but definitely wasn't Expo. Was it 2? The one where we're at Killarney's, or yeah, it was 2. So we're on the footy oval, or like close to a thing, and my dare to
Yeah.
Ben was run around the whole oval, and
In pitch black darkness.
yeah, and he had nothing on, like no clothing, no like he should have like had shoes on or something. And
Yeah.
10 meters through the thing, he falls
Yeah.
down, and we're just like, where is he for like 10 seconds? Straight
Yeah.
down, straight down,
It was
and
hilarious. I remember that.
we just rushed right at him, and he was down for like a good minute, and he gets up, and I think someone had a torch, shines it at him, and his like toes were bleeding or something because he ran into like a something. Gee whiz.
That was intense. That was very. I was like, did you break your leg or something? Like, what happened? Because we had no idea that he'd tripped and fallen on like
Yeah,
the spring or whatever it was. And we just like saw this person go from like upright to just flat on their face. It was just hilarious. Like sad for him, but hilarious for us to watch.
yeah. I'll never forget that moment.
That's a good story. No.
Yeah, we'll move on now. There's too many stories, Maz, that I could go through. But yeah, we'll
Like
probably yeah.
probably.
So what do you do when you like prepare for like school and footy? So are you like a morning person, or like what types of stuff do you?
I am definitely not a morning person. I much prefer to sleep than to do anything. Um, and I guess at the moment, like, because we're in quarantine and stuff, it's great because I can wake up. This morning, I woke up at 2 minutes to 9 and I just threw on a jumper and was in my Zoom class, and I was suddenly in class, and it was great. But usually, like, if I have to go to school, then I have to wake up a bit earlier. And for footy, I don't know. I don't really have like a pre-game sort of um, uh, routine. I don't really have a pre-game routine. I more just have like I just get dressed and then hop in the car and drive to the footy ground, and then we obviously like warm up at the ground and stuff. But apart from that, not really. No, a bit boring. Sorry.
Yeah, for me, I had to wake up pretty early every single day last year on footy
Yeah.
matches because I had umpiring in the mornings.
Well,
Yeah, then after I had a footy match, so yeah, it was a bit of a rush schedule. But yeah,
yeah. Very tiring. You would have been like so fit after playing 2 footy games pretty much every single day.
yeah, I was bloody sore on Monday. Having to go to school, like, just had no
Yeah.
energy on Monday.
Should give you a day off.
Yeah, I'll move on. So, Maz, what are your top 3 goals at the moment? It could be anything.
Oh, number 1 goal. Don't fail my physics test on Monday or
Good luck.
Tuesday. I can't remember. Thank you. Number 2 goal. Try to successfully make macarons. Macaroons. I
I don't even
don't
know
know.
how to pronounce it myself. So,
Pastry things. And number 3, try not to stay up until 3 tonight.
3?
Yes.
What are you
I
doing?
haven't. Well, YouTube is an endless place, Jerry. You can go on YouTube on end. So I start here. I like start at. Oh, I don't even know. I start at like an interview of a celebrity, and I end up at those men from Thailand building huts. So
What?
don't ask me how I do it, but it just happens.
So you have a YouTube marathon every Friday or something?
Pretty much. Little celebration of the week.
Fair enough. Never knew that, man. Never knew that.
I'm full of surprises.
Yep.
Very exciting surprises too. I mean, YouTube watching for an entire night, that's so interesting.
I mean, I can relate. I've done that maybe a few times, but probably not every week like you do, but how it goes.
No, it's definitely, if you want to be, I don't know, like staying up late isn't a good idea, but I mean, why not when it's the weekend the next day and you can sleep in until whenever you want?
Yeah, true, but just telling you, I just did a psych class today, and the teacher, he said that if you sleep till like, no, if you sleep at like 3 a.m. on a weekend, like your
Yeah.
body clock adjusts or something, and on Monday, it takes up to like, so pretend if you sleep at 10 p.m. on like weekdays and sleep at 3 a.m. on weekends, that's like a 5-hour differential, yeah. So it takes your body like 5 days to like get back to the usual thing. So from Sunday to Thursday, you know how like Monday and Tuesday you feel so bad, and then as the
Yeah,
week goes on you feel better. I think that's how it works.
yeah. And then you just ruin it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll probably keep on doing it.
Yeah, I'll do the same. So yeah, there's no perfect person. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Maz, describe yourself in 3 words.
My goodness. Isn't this just so conceited? Like I'm just like, oh, I'm so nice and funny and just such a good person. Like you can't say that. Maybe.
Yeah, how about we do this? I describe you in 3 words and you do the same to
Yeah,
me.
that's a much better idea.
Yeah, I should reverb that actually for future episodes. But yeah, 3 words to describe you is you're nice, you're funny,
Thank you
and
very much.
you're smart.
Oh, those are good 3 adjectives. Thank you very much, Jerry. Okay,
Always.
Jerry, you are kind. You are supportive, and you are. Oh, and you are. I'm gonna say you're very confident.
Cheers, Maz.
You're welcome.
I didn't know I was that confident, but
Well, I'm speak like since Nurragi and since like I've known you, you've just gotten so much more confident. Like you're running
yeah.
your own podcast for Christ's sake. Like that's pretty confident. Like I don't do that. I don't think many people do, and they might call themselves confident. So very confident, I would say.
Yeah, thanks, Maz. I think that Nurragi Gunditj helped my confidence a fair bit actually.
I think that's its job. So
Yeah, it's helped everyone, so in many ways, yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, Maz, we'll do is it true now? So I think this may be true, but we'll talk about footy here. Is it true that you've never kicked a goal?
Yes,
Oh,
unfortunately.
Maz.
I know, it's so sad, isn't it? I mean, I cut myself some slack because I've played 2 seasons, and both seasons I play in the defence. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is quite disappointing, and I need to work on the stat. I need to get. I mean, this year was going to be the year, Jerry. I'm telling you, I was
Really?
going to get
Oh, that was
5 goals. I was going to, just best footy year, but unfortunately because of COVID, obviously it can't happen. But
Yeah.
I'll try and work on that. I promise, because it is quite embarrassing.
No, I'll help you. I've kicked 40 goals in my career, so
40
yeah.
goals.
Yeah,
Gee,
average
show
of like
off.
8 a season, so yeah.
Damn. Okay.
But I've seen you have a few set shots, Maz. I think my game was after yours, and I think you got a free kick in the forward line. You were like
No way.
20 meters out, and
I missed it.
you were close. Like it was close to hitting the post. That's all I'm gonna say. But it wasn't bad.
It's
Like,
okay.
thought you were gonna kick it, Maz. It looked like it was going the right way. Then the wind blew it the other way. So
Yeah. Oh, it's always the wind's fault for me when I kick it badly. It's never my fault.
yeah, I hate the wind sometimes.
Mhm. Mhm. Worst enemy.
Yeah, we'll move on now. So, what are your hobbies? Like your main hobbies?
Oh, sport, footy mainly, and occasionally other sports, but not right now. Music. I really enjoy playing the guitar and the piano and singing, but not in front of people. Um, and learning music and stuff.
Yeah.
I, I really like reading. Um, really like movies. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are my
That's a
hobbies.
fair few hobbies, Maz.
Keeps me busy.
Can you play the ukulele? Because I tried to play it at camp, and yeah, that wasn't the best outcome. I can play it now. I might show you. But,
Really? I would love to see it.
so I think I can say I can play the ukulele now. Or kind of.
Definitely. You can pursue ukulele as a musical career if you want.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll move on from that now. Do you have an object that holds sentimental value?
I'm wearing an object that holds sentimental value. I'm wearing, if you can see it, it's a jumper that my mum knitted for me. And so that holds quite a bit of sentimental value because obviously it's handmade and by my mum. So, and it's really warm and cozy. So it's nice and I wear it a lot.
Cool. So what's your favorite song right now and why? And what's your favorite song of all time and why?
Oh my God. My favorite song right now is probably something from Hamilton, maybe a song called Dear Theodosia or Satisfied, but you probably won't know them. But yeah, and my favorite song of all time, oh, um, oh, I can't answer that. That's such an intense question. Maybe,
You can name a few, Maz.
okay, well, I really like this song. What's it called? It's by a band called Weddings, Parties, Anything, and it's For a Short Time. It's called. That's a really good song. I really like anything from Taylor Swift's new album,
Oh yeah.
Folklore. Good. Have you listened to it?
No, but her music is pretty good. Yeah.
You gotta listen to it. It's such a good album.
Yeah, I might get to it after this, Maz.
Do it. And then send me your thoughts. I'd like to see what you
Yeah,
think.
all right.
Uh, anything from that? Yeah. I don't know. I like a lot of songs, but yeah, For a Short Time and anything Taylor Swift.
Any classics, Maz?
Classics. What defines a classic?
Uh,
Like by
I don't know,
bands?
like older than 10 years, maybe?
Um. Uh. Oh, what's that song? It's by Elton John, I think. Tiny,
Yeah. What's it called?
Tiny Dancer.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but I
No.
know who Elton John is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Good. Song that he sings. It's pretty good.
yeah, Elton John's well known.
He
It's
is
safe to say,
quite well.
yeah, he's well known. Um, who motivates you the most and why?
Ooh, probably my eldest brother Henry,
Yeah,
because he is just like very good at most things that I want to try and be as good as him at things. So it's sort of like competitive motivation, sort of. So like I want to beat him. So he's my motivation, I guess.
what about in terms of famous people? Any people inspire?
Oh, uh, Taylor Swift. She's amazing. She's so cool. Probably, oh, it's annoying to like Taylor Swift. I know, but
No, it's not that annoying. There's worse out there, Maz. Some people are like, I love K-pop, etc. Like, I don't know. I don't. Some people just their views are a bit, you know, K-pop is a bit weird. That's what I think.
yeah. I mean, music.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, music is such a subjective thing that, like, it's dumb for people to be like, "Oh, you like Taylor Swift? You're annoying," or "You
Yeah,
like
true.
K-pop? Bad," because I don't like it, you know. So it's just like, it's like there's just so many different opinions on the same thing, but it's
Yeah, you're
interesting.
right. You're
Anyway,
right.
you go on.
But the good thing about music is like some like music inspire you, or like that's the point of like listening to it. Yeah, or like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
In some senses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Think about things.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a good what's the word? It's a good mindfulness tool as well because yeah, I don't know, fun music it just makes you chill, you know?
It is, yeah, definitely. Well, if you put on the right playlist.
Yeah, subjective, you know. I don't know what the right playlist is. Yeah.
You just don't want to put on your like pump up music when you're trying to be chill.
Yeah, true. Uh, Maz, I've asked you a fair few questions, so you can ask me one question far away.
Ooh, okay. Um, Jerry, why did you decide to start a podcast?
Why? Because there's this former AFL footballer called Dylan Buckley. He runs a podcast called Dylan Friends. So I started watching or hearing that, and it seemed pretty cool. Like uh, every single day now, Maz, I've been listening to like one or two podcasts because you put the earphones on and you're like you feel like you're there and like you can just do other stuff while you're listening to the podcast. So I feel like it's inspiring me listening to like famous people talk about their journeys, and I take like one thing out of each of them and try and implement it in my life, which I don't know, it just yeah. And the podcast basically, I just want to interview some of my mates and I don't know, see where it takes me in a few years.
Definitely. That's a good answer.
So please request who you want me to speak to next via DMs at Jez and Friends on Instagram. Maz, who would you want on the podcast next?
Well, when I told my friends from Mac, like Jacinta, Miranda, and Ruby, they were all very disappointed that they hadn't been asked.
Fair enough.
And also, my brother Archie, he was also very disappointed that he wasn't asked, as he does have a podcast. So he was a little bit
Oh, was he?
upset, I have to say, Jerry. But no, it's no big deal. Who should it be next? I don't know.
Yeah, you named a few names already anyway, so got a
Named a
brief
few.
overview. But yeah, Maz, shout out to Archie. So me and him are in VCPE. There's plenty of banter in that class. We
Yeah.
always roast each other about how our respective teams are going. Obviously, I cop a ton of shit because North are horrible. So, and what's it called? His podcast hasn't been running for a while, so I just want to know why it hasn't been running.
Very slack with his podcast. I think it's
So,
partly because he and Raf do it together and they're currently in different houses and so can't really.
true.
But I mean, they could just do it via Zoom or something like you are, so it's not really an excuse. And I don't know, I just don't think he finds things to talk about. Like, he doesn't have many things to talk about in his life. He's like quite boring, you know? Like, podcasts have to be interesting and like tell stories, and his is just,
Footy.
yeah, exactly. And you get tired of it a while.
Yeah, Maz, I'm pretty tired of Archie just flexing St Kilda all the time. So,
Well,
yeah.
we lost this week, so.
I mean, you guys are playing very well, so, yeah.
Well, yes. It is a bit of a change. I mean, I don't follow foot. I follow AFL a little bit, but
Not as much as, yeah, Arch.
Or yeah.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. So thanks for tuning into the Jez and Friends podcast. Remember, push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. And thank you so much for your time, Maz.
You're very welcome, Jerry. It was a great time.